How are you feeling?
I'm 80% there. I've had
Yeah,
a few things going on since the run, which I think was maybe 8-9 weeks ago now. Still not 100% there. There was a couple of close calls with my health, hospital visits, and near-death experiences, but we're still here.
near-death experiences.
Yeah, so we'll dive into it. Like about 2 weeks after the run, I was still getting some pain in my right ankle. Swelling wasn't going away. Went to physio, Kevin, from Ground Up Physio. We thought it was a stress fracture. Went in to get an X-ray. Obviously, X-ray doesn't really pick it up. Then went for an MRI scan. And over that 4-day period after seeing Kevin to eventually ended up in hospital, my foot was immobilized in a moon boot. I was getting some pain in my right ankle, pain in my right calf. The pain was slowly getting worse and worse. And then I think it's about 2 a.m., 3 a.m. one morning, I was like, this is pretty bad, and went to hospital. Got some tests at hospital. Turns out I've got quite some large blood clots in my right leg. And if I left them any longer, they can travel up to my lung and then kill me. Yeah. So
Wow.
pretty full on. So I'm on blood thinners at the minute. It's in a stable condition and my body's now starting to dissolve it and get rid of it. But if I didn't go in, it would have been pretty close. So
That's really scary.
yeah, I've got two. I think one of them is 24 centimeters and the other's
24 centimeters.
Yeah, it's pretty much from the back of my knee all the way down. Yeah.
Jesus.
So I'm still,
Christ.
yeah, to add to the story, I'm still going through some tests at the minute, blood tests to find out what it is, if it's something genetic or if it's just from running multiple marathons. First glance at the test results, the doctor said it's nothing genetic, which is good. I've just had another test, but the place where I go to get the tests is, what's the best way of putting it? It's a cancer clinic. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, one of the biggest things is the blood clot could be caused by cancer, could be caused by something genetic, or could be from the run as well. So, this week I was in there again. I've been there a couple of times. I'm in there getting blood tests with people who are being diagnosed with cancer, who are going through chemotherapy, all this stuff as well. And I'm still not sure if I might have something like that. Yeah, but like I said, from first test results, doctor doesn't seem too worried about that. He doesn't think it's anything sinister, but it is quite, scary going into places like that and seeing the look on people's eyes when they're like going in for results for things like that as well. But it's a massive perspective on life as well. Like getting some good news from him where he's like, he doesn't think it's anything serious is giving me a bit of a new lease of life as well. But yeah, that's what's been going on in the last couple of weeks. You full on.
That is full on.
Yeah.
Do you want to just elaborate for anyone that doesn't know? Because you keep mentioning the run or multiple marathons.
Yeah. So this year has been a big year for multiple reasons. For I guess the athlete running stuff. In April and May, I ran 21 half marathons in 21 days. And then in August and September, I ran 34 marathons in 34 days. So it's been a pretty full on year. There's a lot of kilometers have gone through the legs and the shoes and stuff as well. A lot of calories been burnt. A lot of calories have been taken in as well. But yeah, that's the run this year. I keep playing it down, but now that I've finished and had time to take it all in, I realized that, it was a pretty big challenge that I've managed to achieve, which is, grateful to get through.
I mean, it's a big enough challenge doing one marathon, let alone 34 back to back.
Yeah. I mean,
Crazy. I think, to be fair, I still think the most, you haven't mentioned it, but the fact that you did it round Centennial in loops. Like the Strava is loops.
Yeah.
And other than what, 1 or 2 days where you did a few others outside of, Sydney at the
Yeah, I think there
start,
was
but
2, 3 runs outside of Centennial Park. Yeah.
just straight circles with an occasional up to the van,
Yeah.
refuel and back down.
Yeah. Like 3.7 kilometers running around in a circle, 11 and a half loops because I counted them a lot. And yeah, I haven't actually been to Centennial Park since. I've driven past a couple of times, maybe 3 times, and I was getting quite like bad anxiety from going past the
Wow. Okay.
park. I'm hoping December I might cycle or have a little run in there. But I was getting quite like worked up going past the park, just because of the stress that I was in while I was in the park, not because of the actual run. It was actually the time stress of like, I drove past there and it was sunset, and I was thinking to myself like, I've only got a couple of hours of the run that I need to get in before I go to sleep, then get up again and go to work. Like everything was like time pressure constantly. My breaks need to be really short so that I can get enough sleep at night, and trying to do it with a full-time job as well. It's just, So I haven't been back in the park yet. I will be soon, but I'm not in a rush.
To be fair, I don't blame you at all for
It's
not
almost
being
PTSD.
Yeah, genuinely.
From marathon PTSD.
Yeah.
And while full-time working, I didn't even think of that. I was like, surely you'd taken time off, but no, that's full on.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So it's a 5-week run. The first 2 weeks I had off work, and then I was running after work every day, and pretty much working a full day. There was no like particularly early finishes. There's a couple every now and then, but working quite late and then running the marathon till sometimes I was getting home at 11 o'clock midnight. Jeez. Which is not good for the body and not good for recovery. So,
how was that performance review after that month?
I actually got a promotion, which is
oh wow,
yeah,
Do
I
it
got
again.
promotion. So whatever I was doing before the marathon worked, but no, the company I work for, they're supportive when it comes to mental health as well, and they know that I'm able to do this stuff, but also be able to give everything at work as well. But mental health is like a big thing for me, so they're really supportive of that as well, which is good.
Do you want to go into a bit of detail on what it was for? Because obviously you're not just a crazy person that wants to do 34 marathons in 34 days.
Yeah. I mean, I've had this over many years doing these type of challenges. Everyone asks me what's the reason why and stuff like that. Look, I won't lie, it is a personal challenge. I do get a purpose and I get joy out of doing this, and I like pushing myself, and I feel at home when I'm doing these type of challenges. I feel like really comfortable and at peace, and everything external is switched off. But the cause for this one, and probably moving forward as well, mental health. At the end of 2019, started 2020, I lost 3 of my friends to suicide, and that kind of projected me on a mission to remove the stigma around mental health, get people talking about mental health, especially within men. And then this year is me opening up about my own mental health struggles as well. I have suffered from depression and all sorts since a young age. And 2025 is probably the first year where I've actually opened up and started talking about things that have happened throughout my life and the struggles that I've had and the people I've lost and stuff like that as well. So, like I said, it's been a big year for the run, but then it's also been a big year for opening up and doing stuff in people's memories, but also, rebuilding myself.
It's been a lot for you.
It's been a lot, yeah.
But this, the 21 half marathons wasn't initially where you started. There was a bit of history behind that with, the cycling and like the overnight run. What was that like? At what point did you just click and go, I'm actually going to start doing something about it? And what was your first kind of way you started pushing yourself physically and mentally? Was it the cycling or was it the overnight run?
No, look, I'm a bit old. I won't say the age, but I'm a bit older than most people on Instagram. So I've been in Australia 10 years. And I think back in 2013 was my first multi-day challenge where I cycled from Edinburgh to London. I did that in memory of a friend of mine, James Ashworth, who sadly lost his life in Afghanistan during the war. Me and his family and his friends, we all cycled from Edinburgh to London. And it's funny, me and another guy, Ollie, we were the only people that stayed on the bike the whole duration. Everyone else got off for breaks and stuff like that. And I kind of had a bit of an itch then when I knew I could do this. Fast forward, partying, DJing, doing all the stuff that you usually
Living
do.
the life.
Living the life, yeah. Traveling. And then I land in Australia, meet my beautiful girlfriend. And then, yeah, I was mostly weight training and stuff like that. And then a good friend of mine, Ben Swift, come up to me in a CrossFit gym, which I was training a CrossFit gym at the time. He came up to me and said, I'm thinking about cycling around Australia. Would you be keen? And he thought,
Great friends to have.
yeah, but he thought I would say no. I think he didn't really want to do it, but he was just kind of, it was an idea. And I said to him straight away, yeah, I'll do it. And yeah, 2023, we cycled around Australia. Had a lot of time to think, 12, 15 hours on the road. And I knew that I wanted to continue doing this, but I wasn't sure of the capacity and stuff like that. And if I could like run and organize an event by myself and do that type of stuff. So
what were the logistics like of something like cycling around Australia? Like, was it just you and him on your bikes with a bag, or was it like, how did you, because I don't think people appreciate how much planning there is in terms of, you know, you being able to manage all of that. Like,
yeah.
It's not just getting on a bike and cycling. Equally, the run as well wasn't just running. It's everything else around it. How did you manage that?
I think for a few things, like people outside Australia don't realize how big Australia is. I said to my mum that I was cycling around Australia from the UK, and she didn't realize that Australia is actually bigger than Europe. So 14,000 kilometers around Australia. We were lucky. Ben's parents came out. They drove our support vehicle, which was good. So we had like a camper van that came with us and stopped, and we refueled. And then we had a couple of friends like came out and joined us through the ride as well. But if anyone is listening to this, watching this, if you're ever going to do an event, you need to bring your A game, because there's so many moving parts. There is raising the money, which is, you know, if you're doing it for a cause, raising the money for the vehicles, the fuel, the food, social media, which is just like, if you want to appeal to any form of sponsors, you need to be like putting out content. It's crazy the amount of content you need to be. So you need to be a social media manager as well. You need to be PR if you're reaching out to journalists and trying to get your story out there. If you're trying to get equipment, that's the next thing. Bikes, clothing, supplements, whatever it may be. There's so many moving parts that I don't think people realize when you're trying to do an event like this. And it was the same with the 34 marathons. Even though I did it at Centennial Park, there were so many moving parts to it. I wanted to try and get content out with yourself and the rest of the crew, Vlad and Cam. Tried to get sponsors involved, vehicles, food. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts for like a big project.
How long were you planning it beforehand, where you went 34 marathons? Okay, from the moment you had that kind of idea in your head, and then you went, okay, let's make this work on this date. What was the turnaround of the planning and prep?
Like I'd still consider myself as quite a new runner. Like a lot of people were like, oh yeah, you did this. I only really started taking running up more serious in 2025. The Instagram account I've got was like a New Year's resolution. Like I started that like end of 2025 coming to this year. And I started working with Sean Bell, who's my coach, back in November. And I said to him, like, November, I'm going to run 34 marathons next year. And he was like, yeah. But Sean's ran around Australia, so it just is nothing for him. But yeah, I said to him that I was going to do it, and he supported me. We had the 21 half marathons as a warm-up event, which is an event on its own. Yeah, I just trained hard, and that was like my only purpose in life, to get to that goal, and managed to achieve it.
What did you think after the half marathons? Did you think, oh yeah, I can do the full marathons, or was it more Oh, what am I getting myself into?
There was about a 10-week gap between them. Um, yeah, yeah. Through the half marathons, like that, the half marathons felt fairly comfortable. I tried it a couple of years ago and failed. It felt more comfortable this year. But yeah, towards the end of it, I was like, oh, I've got to double this and more moving into it. So had no injuries with the 21 half marathons, which was good. But moving into the next one, I was like, there was a daunting task. There was a couple of weeks before I was like, I had a bit of shin splints before the 34 marathons.
It's
And
not what you want to have.
yeah, and I was like, I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to do this. There was a couple of conversations with Sean. He used to catch up with me once every 3 weeks, once every 4 weeks. And I was saying to Sean, like, man, I don't know if I can do this. And he was like, look, you've trained hard for it. Forget about the last couple of weeks. You know, there's years of effort that's gone into it, even including your cycle around Australia as well. You've built up all this resilience, cardio, everything like that. You'll be fine. And yeah, it's completely switched my mindset, and I had more confidence moving into it. So,
Was there an exit plan?
no exit plan.
It was just once you started, you were going to finish it.
Yeah, it's like I've got this motto. I stole it from a guy from Satisfying Max. Death before DNF. Like, I was willing to push myself to the limits, and like if I had to get pulled out of there by paramedics or something, I would do it. Like I would do anything to finish. Like dying was an option. Yeah.
I think that mindset is such, it's, you know, some people would call it crazy, but I think it's like good to have, because when you're at that level, you know, anything you set your mind to is within reach.
Yeah, yeah. Like I would still consider myself an amateur, but I was trying to do like an elite challenge, you know, running 300 plus Ks a week. But I was just willing to just push myself to the limits.
To be fair, I know quite a lot of amateur runners that are running 34 man. I definitely think that it needs to be addressed of the level of inflation that has now happened with running, where, you know, the guy like you posted on your story the other day of like, you know, 30 marathons, and it's like, this is normal things that you're seeing, and it's like,
yeah.
you know, 10 years ago and this was rarely a thing. Obviously people do it, but now it's like, oh, you run a marathon, oh, that's cool. But you know,
Yeah.
there's people out here running 30 marathons or 34 marathons in 34 days, and it's like, I feel like to something that's kind of so well recognized now, that kind of baseline is so much higher, because you have like yourself, you have like Ned Brockman, Sean Brell, who are just constantly pushing.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. Like I said, my first event was back in 2013, which is, you know, over a decade. Back then, it did feel like such a big thing. Social media was around, but not as present as like Instagram, where everyone's like, you know, posting stuff. This is going to sound like I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I did 34 marathons, but I do feel like there needs to be a certain amount of respect for a marathon distance. A lot of people, I see a lot of influencers. I don't want to be called an influencer.
Yeah.
And a lot of influencers online that it's like, I did Berlin and I've got now tickets for like New York, and it's just like, oh, I'm doing London. And they're just making it like so easy. Just, oh, I'm doing marathons. Marathons are tough. Like it might take somebody 8 months to work hard to get to a marathon goal and then achieve it. And then people are like, oh, I didn't get sub 3 hours. Oh, it was a terrible marathon. Like, you completed the marathon. So I get it. Your sub 3 hours was your goal, but just achieving the marathon is like, it's a special moment. So I feel like there needs to be a little bit of respect to the marathon distance, and especially respect to the majors as well. The majors are just getting thrown around to influencers and stuff. So yeah.
Trust me, I respect it. I've never done one, and you've done one, two.
Yeah, one major, 2 marathons, but it is crazy how it is hard doing a marathon. And I feel like there's so many things around where people are just like, oh yeah, like, I'm gonna do a marathon. Have you trained? So, no, not really, but it'll be all right. And it's like, they don't really, it's almost like they're not taking it seriously. Like, it is hard. And
well, it looks, it's again, social media, you see the algorithm and how it works. You see the top 1%. So you do see a lot of elite people, YouTube as well. You know, you see all these people who are like, you know, that top 1%. So if that's all you're seeing all the time, you start to think to yourself, okay, this person's doing a 12-week block or a 20-week block. I can do these speeds and I can push myself, and kind of say to yourself, I'm the same as these people, but there's a separation.
Yeah.
You need to kind of stay in your lane.
I think that is where it does come down to, from what you said about your friend coming up to you in the gym and who you surround yourself with. Because it was only the other day that Kurt was like, oh, and Jacko were like, come and join us for the 60K this
Yeah.
weekend. I'm like, guys, like, it's honorable, but it's also crazy that my friends are like, oh, you want to come and do 60K this weekend?
Yeah.
As if I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, actually, yeah, I'm ready to go. It's
Yeah.
like, this is crazy levels of just, but I think it is contagious and I feel like Sydney's a lot more of that now, where there's so many people running and everything, and I'm honored that I can say to my friends, and it's like we're all doing marathons or high rocks, so everyone's training for something. It's nice, and I kind of like, I'm always pressured to be like, oh, I've got to have something next. I've got to be training for something.
But it's good. It's good as well.
It's such good energy.
Like it's back in the day, it was more for me. It was more like I was always doing little runs and I guess gym and stuff like that as like kind of a gym bro, but it's nice seeing the switch from like the alcohol and people doing drugs and stuff like that to trying to keep fit, running 5 a.m. in the morning and coffee runs and coffee clubs and run clubs and stuff like that. That's kind of good. I see the benefit in that definitely, mentally and like physically. So it's nice seeing that kind of growth in the running and cycling and stuff like that as well. And now it seems to be Ironman and High Rocks is like the big thing as well.
Yeah, it's like once you've done a marathon, it's like, oh, what more can I do? It's like, oh, I'm just going to add swim and cycle as well on top of that, just so that, it's like that's the next thing. It's like as soon as you've done that, it's like, okay, now you've done one, you're ready for a full-length Ironman.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But talk to me about like the first 2 weeks of doing the 34 marathons, because obviously you said there was no exit strategy, but how did that go for you once you'd done day one and you're like, oh, I've got to wake up tomorrow and do this again?
Yeah.
What was that like?
So I'll kind of start with the bike rides, because there's a guy called Dean Scott that gave me and Ben a bit of advice. So Dean Scott is an SAS just beast in the UK. He's good friends with Prince Harry, and our cycle was kind of inspired by a ride that he did, which was in South America. We had a couple of calls with Dean Scott, and he said to us about anything from about day 8 to day 11, 12, your body will adjust. You'll become like a robot. The pain will kind of go.
Okay.
It will move around, but like clockwork on the bike ride, unbearable pains, push through it, and it kind of become like normal. We would like, it's just this habit of like, my body knew it's going to be on the bike for 12, 15 hours. And this is like my place. This is how I am for the next how many weeks. So I knew that with the 34 marathons, the first 2 weeks, there would be a bit of pain that would come and go. I don't know if you potentially remembered. So I had pains coming and going, but I said to myself, I'm not going to use any medicine, creams, anything like that. I'm just going to let the body do what it does. If it swells up, it swells up. I'm not going to do any ice baths. Just going to let it do its thing, and it will adjust. And that's what happened. So the first 2 weeks just felt like a breeze. It felt so good. I had such a long day. Well, I knew in the back of my head that I was going back to work. So like it felt like I was on holiday.
Okay. Yeah.
It's crazy as it sounds.
Normal holiday.
I was getting up at 7 a.m. I'm going to do my marathon. Then I had like the rest of the day. I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah, just you to say that sentence. I'd get up at 7 a.m. I'd go and do my marathon.
Yeah.
You just see those memes that are always like, like just a quick marathon before.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you make it sound. Like, do a marathon, get it done nice and easy.
Yeah. so yeah,
Jermaine's morning routine.
Yes.
7 a.m. wake up, marathon.
Yeah. It felt like that. Yeah. So a marathon, and then I basically be able to put my feet up, or could do sauna, or I could eat all day and sleep and get naps and then go and do it again. So it felt like I was on top of my recovery. It was like I had a routine. And then, coming around to that following Monday when I went back to work, everything just,
Really that bad?
I think the first night was okay, but then straight after that, I realized that the time that I was leaving work it wasn't actually going to work right. How my body works at night is completely different. I did a lot of night runs. I did a lot of morning runs to train. But man, working like an 8-hour day, and I work in construction as well, so it's a long day. Working an 8-hour day, and then as soon as you get sunset, like your body just switches off. So I was like loads of energy, and then sunset happens, and the park just dies off. There's no one in there, and then it's just like I'm struggling to move my legs like over and over. But I managed to kind of persist through for the next week or so, and then I had a couple of toe issues.
Yeah, that's when they started. I mean, let's get into day 17.
Oh.
So this was, I remember this is when I remember looking at you thinking, oh, I was wondering what was going through your head, because at the time it was Vlad, Cam, and I were all in the car, and we're obviously like doing our job, cashing the content. And I think you were
guys
just
were having fun.
Yeah, I feel really bad because I don't think I brought it up, but I remember going past the car and I was like, oh, Jermaine doesn't look really good. We'll play him a song. And I remember I got up, I walked the 500 miles, and I was playing that out the window. And there was just not a single ounce of reaction from you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no, I think this is a bad choice.
Yeah. I mean, look, with events like this, I get like super, super like laser focused. I try, obviously with the content stuff, you're trying to show everything that's going on and try to talk as much as possible. But like, I'm very much like, I'm like calculating everything. I'm really thinking about my steps. I'm thinking about my calories. I'm just laser focused on like just getting through this. That probably does actually have a link to mental health as well, where I'm like kind of just maybe not showing my emotions as much in the past with like mental health and things I've been struggling with. And I kind of like putting up this blank face. But yeah, day 17 was the worst day of the whole challenge. I call it the Great New South Wales Flood. It started off with some light showers, shall we say?
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I was up to my knees in places in Centennial Park. So when you guys had left and I tried to just continue, I could barely see in front of me. I could only see like maybe 500 to a meter in front of me. And like there was even a point where I see some fishes at my feet and stuff.
Yeah, there's a video put online of like fish going around Centennial.
Yeah, so Centennial Park it just turned into a huge lake. And I knew to myself, like, if I just get through this day, I can get through the whole thing. Like, I just need to just push through this day. I'm glad there wasn't any more rain, to be honest. But
yeah,
if I can push through this day, I will get through it, and I'll get through this whole event. And yeah, it was full on.
You ended up leaving the park though, right?
I had to, yeah. So I ran in Centennial for, let's just say, like 36 kilometers. As much as I physically could. It was getting too dangerous. Came out of Centennial Park, tried to run out onto I think it's Land Road, and Land Road was flooded. There's cars. I've got a video. There was cars actually floating around, trees falling down.
Jeez.
Emergency rescue was everywhere. So I ran further down the road. Next road I went onto, cars floating around. Tram had stopped. There's tram stops, like they coming off tracks. It was crazy. So in the end, I found a dry street, and I basically just ran up and down this street, hobbling a little bit. There was a little bit of walking as well, until out of nowhere, seeing one of my ex-colleagues in this big 4x4 flashing me, sound JJ, and he came and joined me for like the last K, I think it was, in the end. But that was quite a nice moment. But yeah, there was a lot going through my head where I was just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? But I kept kind of just pushing, and yeah.
Would you say that's when you experienced the most amount of kind of, I could just quit, or I could just go home at this point?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I was looking around at reasons to quit. Like I was just saying, what if I just post this on my story saying that these trees are falling down, there's ambulances everywhere, it's quite dangerous, will people understand? I was actually feeling like, I was like, I could just say this on the story, like people would understand that this is what. And then I was like, I can't do this, I can't live with myself, I need to finish this. And yeah, there was that playing with myself, like playing back and forth in my head for a good hour or so, at least 2 hours going through my head. Just, I could just give this up now. And go on to the next day. And people would understand, hopefully. But
I don't think you, knowing your mentality, would have forgiven yourself. Though,
No.
I think if you had,
never.
because you'd be like, oh, 34 marathons, but that one day,
This one, that didn't do a marathon.
And
So
I think that moment you give in just that little bit, then it's like you've set that mentality that you can take it off. Oh, if it's really hard, I don't have to do it if it's really hard. Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't continue the event or life in general with just being like, oh, when it gets hard, I'll just give up. I need to like push through. I put so much work into it with my training and waking up at 3 a.m., 4 in the morning, just sacrificing relationships to train. Why would I get to the tough bit, which I knew was going to come, and be like, oh, I'll just throw in the towel and go again the next day? Because that's not my mentality.
Running with the fishes. We could call that your introduction to the triathlon.
Yeah.
It's 34 marathons and half a triathlon. knee deep in water.
Oh yeah, that's probably how I got the infection in my foot as well.
Yeah,
which wasn't great.
So that when you started getting, because remember after that, I don't remember you being in too much like swelling and pain. I feel like that developed slightly later on when you were starting to get into the 20s.
Yeah.
But you started to talk about ankle pain and like the toes started to get real bad. What was that like when actually things started to really take their toll on your body?
Yeah, so the ankle was swelling up. That was getting to a point where I was basically struggling to run, and that's where I was like, okay, this is getting bad now, because I could push through most things. Ankle was starting to swell up. I was kind of hobbling. My pace was dropping down. There was one night where I was doing 7.5 minute paces. It was so difficult. But the following night after that, I basically just tried to just go as quick as I can, just to force my body and cadence to tick over. And I found like I could reset my body slightly and just work through the pain. Don't recommend that to anyone. And yeah, I probably say the biggest thing rather than the ankle was actually sounds so stupid saying this now, but it was my big toe. So I had this infection towards, I think probably week 4, back in the week 5, coming towards the end.
Yeah.
This infection on my big toe that was affecting the way I strike the ground. So I was running with a really weird kind of like hobble. And then obviously that travels up to like your knees, your hips, everywhere. So I was running really strange, and swelling got bigger. I had to cut my shoes to try and relieve some of the pressure and stuff.
Wolverine claws.
Yeah, Wolverine claws. But yeah, it's that kind of death before DNF, where it's like, I'm not going to give up. I'll just adapt to suit. If I have to run on one leg, I'll run on one leg. If I have to cut my shoes, there's a way around it to kind of finish the goal. So,
but it wasn't all bad. Like I feel like there were some high moments as well. What were some of like going through that before you finished? Some of the days where I remember you had like friends visit and everything, and I remember seeing how like great that was. What was that like? What were some of the kind of best bits about it?
Yeah, still to this day, even getting messages now with people saying, "Oh, what you've done has inspired me," like talking about mental health, or you've inspired me to go and do my own event. I had somebody from Mexico City. We had a call, like he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, I'd love to speak to you." He found me through ChatGPT.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, I want to find somebody who's done 21 half marathons, 21 days. And my name apparently came up. And then me and him ended up like having a chat, and then he wanted to do it. And he ended up raising like, I don't know, $40,000 for his like US dollars for like his charity through doing this and stuff. And we were having a conversation. He was getting tips from me and stuff. So those are the things that have come like through social media and DMs and stuff like that. But biggest thing for me with the 21 and the 34 marathons, it's like just people coming down and connecting and just having a safe space for people to talk. Like there's people that were running with me that if me and them were in a bar or having a coffee or whatever else, they would never open up about the stuff that they've been through. I had people running with me who were like, were talking about domestic violence, or parents that were drug addicts, or family members or friends they'd lost to suicide. Like I was just hearing all these amazing stories where I'm like, this is beautiful to hear you opening up and talking about this. Like this is the purpose of this run. It's not just to raise money or a personal challenge. It's having people there with me who are like, what you're doing is inspiring me enough to just spend half an hour with you just talking about life. So that's, yeah, it blew my mind of like the response and just being able to like, just listen and have like people open up around me. So yeah, that's definitely a reason why I'll do something like this again.
Did you ever feel, taking that on, did it kind of make you feel a little bit more open as well to share your stories, which is why, like,
Yeah.
you've set yourself goals of doing more challenges or so on to go on and do that? Has it kind of, that kind of sharing, I mean, you want to grow that?
Yeah. So I guess the bike ride, we did some podcasts, we did some content around that. And I always talked about the people that I'd lost, but I never ever spoke about myself. I think I think maybe even yourself was like recovering me, encouraging me to like talk about it. So I never really spoke about myself. I always referred to like, my 3 friends that I lost or this, that. And kind of at the end of last year, I said to myself, look, I'm going to set up this new account. I'm going to take on these challenges, but I'm also going to open up about everything about what's happened in my life and how it's affected me and my own mental health. And I set my goal. Again, I put myself in comfortable positions with the run, but also opening up about my own mental health as well. So it's been a level of growth that I've never felt before. I haven't done any counselling or anything like that before. I've never really spoken to my girlfriend about it either. It's like, this year just trying to get it out and tell people what's going on, and hopefully they can get something from it. And there's been a crazy response, which is now giving me more confidence to talk about my own life and struggles and things like that as well. So yeah.
With the challenges that you've had, I don't know what you've been through and stuff, and we don't have to get into this, but like from personal experience, did you find your things, was that sort of after effect of losing those friends, and like how that affected you?
I'd like to say it is an after effect, but I feel like I've always struggled with mental health. So the scenarios, like I give you an example, when I 17, 18, I was working as an apprentice electrician, and on the way to an Arctic Monkeys concert, my friends were in the car, they were going to a concert, and vehicle span out, pop tires span out, hit a tree, and 3 people in the back row who were my friends, they all died in this crash. And the passenger, Choo Choo, he managed to get out. He ran for help and collapsed on the way. He had 2 punctured lungs. And he actually missed all the funerals and anything like that. Driver survived, but driver's dad was at the back. So it was that's one scenario of things that's happened in my life. There's been crazy things. But that chapter, lost 3 friends, obviously 1 in hospital. I was working an electrician. I got made redundant. Girlfriend I was with at the time, lost her. She broke up with me, got back with some abusive boyfriend who she was with. And there was a lot of things going on at that time. And I guess that's the first time I really, really recognized that, like, I was depressed and I was actually thinking about taking my own life. But probably going years before that, I'd probably been in and out of like depression and having those type of feelings. But that was like kind of a real point where I was like, okay, this is my lowest of lowest. And I've managed to survive and get through it. And I say this to everyone: depression is a 365-year challenge. It never really, really goes away, I don't think. Even if you're doing meds or whatever, it never really goes away. You just learned how to live and the signs, and hopefully you've got the right people around you to talk about it. But I feel like there was signs of it before, but things in the life kind of come up and it's like, oh, okay, right, this is now more serious. It's the depression is more serious. I'm actually thinking about, all right, would the world be better without me? Can I continue doing this stuff? Like, can I continue living like this and stuff like that? So
When you say signs,
yeah.
how were they apparent to you? Like, what kind of those signs appear? Because obviously mental health is very individual, and especially with like depression. But what did you notice originally that just kind of you're like, oh, maybe that's actually something, or you just kind of tried to ignore?
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone's mental health's different. But for me, I felt in that scenario, I felt extremely isolated. I felt like nobody would understand. My parents are the best parents in the world, but they don't have the tools to kind of help me navigate life and go through that type of like mental health issues and stuff. But I felt extremely isolated that like, I guess kind of like the world's out against me. Like I've been dealt bad cards. I'm not going to get through this. Like, what is my options here? You know, I was at the start of my career. I was like, I had no idea there was any other scenarios. I was like, this is how life is. I'm just going to be dealt all these horrible cards. I don't fit in. I've lost everything. What's the point? You know, what's the point? Um, yeah, I don't really have tips on how to get through that. It's just I just managed to feel like there's, I guess, a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know how I managed to get through it. Maybe I just,
Mm.
yeah,
I think this is one of the most important parts, because people that are feeling like that, if they hear that other people are feeling the exact same way,
Yeah.
that's kind of what opens you up and go, oh, okay, I'm not alone feeling like that. Like everyone feels like that. It's,
yeah,
can we connect and just be like, hey, I feel the same way.
yeah.
And that's, I guess that's the whole point of bringing awareness to
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
That's definitely like that's one of the reasons why I've started talking more about my own battles and stuff like that, because trying to connect with people. I've had obviously like the messages I was saying about people reaching out to me saying that they've gone through their own issues and stuff like that as well. And I kind of sharing my own story. I feel purpose in getting my story out there and connecting with people and hopefully inspiring people, but also not bottling up my emotions and being a bit more open and getting out to the world, I guess.
That's the thing. I think that you said before, like it's a 365-day a year,
Yeah.
like something to deal with. And I think, you know, as much as there aren't tips, it's nice that you can share your journey. And it's like that doesn't necessarily mean how, you know, that you should sign up for 21 half marathons to rescue it, but it's
Yeah.
just that I think you can always learn lessons from how someone else did something. And I
Yeah.
think how you kind of push yourself and started doing things that really like put yourself in uncomfortable positions, doing things that were hard, kind of
Yeah.
that mindset and the training and how you kind of came out of it. Is that the exact approach? Maybe not, but it's
Yeah.
like it at least shows that, you know, someone who is maybe not seeing a way out other than, you know,
Yeah.
going down that kind of dark route. It's
Yeah.
nice that you have kind of
Yeah.
made it out and you are on what seems to be a better path and you are able to share this journey, and that
Yeah.
it gives that sense that there is hope. So when you see it like that, what you're doing is giving people that space to come and talk to you and just go, okay, there is hope.
Yeah. Look, I guess as you're saying that, I'm just thinking there. I guess I take it back a little, where I'm saying I have no tips. I guess a big tip for me, or what works for me, is fitness. I was doing a lot of strength training and stuff like that before the cardio stuff. So having a purpose in the gym, being able to like go in and watch Arnold online and all Ronnie Coleman and all these people, and go in and train in the gym, and then moving into the kind of the ultra stuff and things like that as well. Having like a purpose at each day to get up and train to a goal. That kind of gives me a bit of like strength that way, mental and physical. And then this next one where, you know, I'm opening up and talking a bit more. It's not counseling, but like I'm finding sharing a little bit on social media and stuff. People are connecting that way, and it's on a deeper level as well, which is nice.
It's a thing of doing hard things, right? The fitness side of it. You challenge yourself with hard physical things, and in contrast, you're like, oh well, I've achieved this, I've pushed myself through this, I can work out this mental stuff. My partner's big in CrossFit, and I feel like everyone that does CrossFit, they've got really stressful lives.
Yeah.
So then they go in and they really push themselves physically, and then they get on with their day and it seems easy.
Yeah. Definitely starts the day right when you go out and just flog yourself for the run or something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, you walk into the office and you know that nobody else is trained, and you're like, yeah, I feel good. I feel a bit superior this one.
There's a certain like swing in your step, you know.
Yeah,
You got a little
yeah.
kind of gallop as you walk through the
Yeah.
door. I mean, it was amazing to see talking around other people joining you on that last day
Yeah.
when you did that last like shakeout run almost. I don't know if you could call it that, but when so many people were there joining you, what was that like, 5 kilometers before the finish when, we had 50, 60 people, maybe
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
like turn up, and it was just
Oh, it was nice seeing all the sponsors there, friends who supported me throughout. But most importantly, it was nice to see the charity who'd come down. Like Black Dog, their staff had came down. We've tried to connect with them. I'm doing a lot more work with them, more than a usual kind of fundraiser. I want to be more involved with what they do with like youth and youth mental health and stuff like that. So it was amazing seeing them come down, and it's a bit of a relief as well coming towards the end. Just like, okay, I've only got 5Ks to go. I've put heart and soul into this project, but this is the time I'm going to enjoy the last kind of 5Ks with everyone, and just say my goodbyes to Centennial Park, and just it was a weird feeling because I didn't cry straight away, and then I like thought to myself like, wow, like this is I've done it, and then it just came in. It was like it wasn't necessarily the cry of the 34 marathons. It was like everything I've shared throughout the year, like my friends, people I've lost, everything just throughout the year, just a lifetime of, I guess, hurt, just letting it all out. And I guess now I've got this purpose of like just continuing doing it in everyone's memory and seeing what I've got.
seeing what you've got.
Seeing what I'm made of.
And that's what I'm eager to find out, is seeing what you've got. What's talk to me about recovery. I want to get into it soon, but I want to know like what's next kind of thing. But what was, I remember when, you finally got in that van and kind of left Centennial Park for that very last time.
Yeah.
Probably celebrating, but I can imagine also pretty emotional.
Yeah. Very tired as well.
Yeah. Where was it from there? So your recovery was somewhat, I remember you saying that it was okay at the start, right?
Yeah.
Like it was, for having run 34 marathons, your body wasn't.
No, I mean, most of my body I felt fine. Like I was pretty good. My sleep was still quite all over the place. I was getting hot sweats at night, and central nervous system was all over the place. But overall, I got my diet back on track. I was eating a lot of calories, a lot of crap. Got my diet back on track, my gut health. I probably went a bit too extreme. I dropped calories. I was eating a lot of vegetables, but I dropped a lot of weight really quick after the run. I kept it kind of consistent during the run, but then I kind of dieted after. Right. Not necessarily to like get in shape, but just to get my gut health and just more vitamins back in my body. I went a bit too hard and lost like 3-4 kilos straight after the run. Okay. But recovery was going well until that kind of 2-week mark, and then physio, hospital, and then it was a little bit downhill. So I'm on blood. Like I said, I'm on blood thinners now. I'm on blood thinners for the next minimum of 3 months. I'll get a scan in January, and then we see if the blood clot's changed. I may have to go on blood thinners for another 6 months or lifetime. We're not sure yet. We'll see.
That's a hefty
it's full on
price to pay.
It's full on.
Is that standard for blood clots? I don't even know. Like, is that how long they normally?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they need to break down, right?
Yeah. Like just to get your body to break it down and remove it, it does take around like 3 months to 12 months even. The blood clot most of it will go. The problem is it leaves scarring behind. So it's the vessel or vein is not going to be as wide as it used to be, but it's a small price to pay. Yeah.
So how has the kind of recovery been? What's the kind of training like? What's the recovery program?
Yeah. Um,
Have you been running again? Have you have you
yeah,
actually
yeah,
run again?
yeah. So I started running last kind of 2 weeks. I'm running probably about 10 to 20 Ks a week, mostly cycling as well. I cycle 3 days a week. Gym 4 days a week, which is mostly like weights, single leg exercises, squats, just trying to build a base
Mm,
up and trying to build my ankle strength up as well. I do want to say one thing. With recovery, a lot of people don't talk about how you are mentally after events like this, a marathon, a multi-day marathon, whatever it is. You have such a big momentum when you're leading up to this big challenge, and then after it, you kind of lose a bit of purpose. I felt that last time when I did the bike ride, and I know the signs. So this time, I've just managed to keep myself busy. I've kept myself busy a lot, and I've managed to get to a point where okay, I can run again. So I've kept myself busy to the point where I haven't really felt depressed or no drive or anything like that, and I managed to get myself through. So that's probably the biggest recovery mentally, getting myself back on track that way. I haven't felt too much of a low,
mm.
which is good.
It's interesting that you kind of adapted to that after you said after the first ride,
Yeah,
because it's definitely something that I felt after doing Gold Coast. When I first did it for the first time, it was like, okay, I've achieved this amazing
yeah,
thing. And then it was like, as soon as I got afterwards, I was just like, I just didn't want to run.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, I just didn't really want to do anything. I had no motivation to go to the gym. And I think, it's for me, it's like the little things. It's like, it's even like when you get out of bed, you get that little bit of like dopamine, and it's like you make your bed and you're
yeah,
kind of like, oh, you just feel good. And it was like, I just didn't really have that for
yeah,
like a 2 week period.
yeah,
And it just means that, where you get that kind of little bit of stimulus afterwards, okay, I feel good. I've been to the gym or I've gone for a run, you feel good.
yeah,
It just wasn't that.
yeah,
So it's like, I guess unless you have that kind of schedule and discipline, like, it's good that you've adapted to that, and something that I need to like bear in mind for future
yeah,
is
yeah,
definitely have some like plan things in, and regardless of whether you feel like doing them at the time, go and do them, because
yeah. Some
it
people
is
go the other
tough.
way. Some people go like to the extreme. They're like, finish the event, I need to book something else in straight away. They have like this,
Mm,
oh, I need to book something
yeah.
in, whether that is like you just want to keep busy or you have a social media account and you just need the next project. So it's good to have a little bit of time off. I haven't been posting online. I've just kind of just decompressed and just had a bit of time away from social media to be like, okay, do I want to continue or what's the next challenge and stuff? But yeah, some people do go the other way where they're like, oh, I've just finished this marathon. I need to do something else like
Mm.
straight away. I need to just do something. And you
You
could be
went
doing it for the wrong reasons.
you went to you had a little nice weekend away, didn't you? Like Airbnb, was it? How
Yes.
was that?
Amazing. Yeah. We
Good?
went away to, oh, I can't remember the name of it. We went away to a farm anyway. Yeah, minimal social media, just kind of just, yeah, out on the farm and just enjoying the countryside. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit of a country boy at heart. Like that probably goes with the cowboy hats I've been
Cowboy
wearing.
hats.
Yeah. But it's just
Yeah.
nice to just get away and just actually be out in like the wilderness and enjoy like time away from pressures of work and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Did you get your steak dinner to finish on?
I had the
Did you?
steak dinner. Yeah, yeah. I had a steak dinner at a nice French restaurant, which was amazing. I've had a lot of steak since as well. Like, I've been enjoying my food, but
I feel like you deserved it, to be honest, after that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's just it has been really nice not having to like having too much of like I've got to run today, I've got to do this and stuff like that. But now, last couple of weeks, I'm getting back into a routine, training most days, which is nice. Yeah.
So what have you set your sights on next year? Like, what have you, because I know you're a man that's obviously going to think about what's next. So tell me
Yeah.
about overall, like the bigger picture in terms of goals of yourself, and then
Yeah.
have you got your eye on anything? I want to know if you sort of in the know. I want to be.
So this year, I named this year the all or nothing year. I was going to give everything I can to, the fitness and the project and just see where it like leaves me. And if brands want to get involved, if people connect with the story, if I feel better as well about sharing my story. So this was the all or nothing year. And then next year I've kind of called it I'm still kind of working with names, but it's probably going to be like the the out there year. It's basically putting myself out there and trying to travel as much as I can. So
Okay.
I want to try and connect with as many people around Australia, people in my niche, people outside my niche, clubs, and just trying to spread the word of like what I'm doing, the charity, and just get around Australia, whether that's Darwin, Perth, Gold Coast, Brisbane. I just want to try and travel as much as possible. And also try and get to Europe as well and just connect with a lot of people that I'm following online and maybe do something in Europe and do something in Australia as well. But just, yeah, get out there.
In what regard do you think you're gonna be out and about? Is it gonna be, let's get a ultra in this location? Do you think it'll be a run? Do you think it'll just be a gentle cycle or
um,
come?
yeah, the ideas are playing in my head where like where I'm going to different states in Australia to try and do challenges in different areas of Australia. Connect with people with like social media, like cross collab with a lot of people. I definitely want to do a multi-day challenge again next year, whether that is a run on its own or a run and cycle. I'm playing with the ideas of potentially like crossing between them because I'm doing a lot of cycling at the minute. Yeah, yeah. It's all working towards. There's a goal that I have in my head, but I don't know when it will happen, if it will ever happen. But I've always said that I want to run across America. That's like always been like the goal.
Wow, okay.
But to do that, I need to build a resume. I need to do the challenges, understand the body, understand fueling, understand how to put a team together, build more traction on social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, have more connections with media. So then when I do go to do a challenge like running across America, I have all the resources to be like, I can raise as much money as possible. I have a larger voice, have the connections with the media and stuff like that, and have a solid, like well-oiled team of like content creators that can kind of get it out to a wider audience. But yeah, first I need to just see if I can actually do it with my body and do those Ks and stuff like that. And yeah.
So would you go like, south to north?
Most people
Through
go
Chile, like around Argentina, or you just,
most people go from like east to west, but
But you're not most people.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's always like ideas of doing different things. Like, it might not be America, it might be like Europe, or it might be in Asia, or I think that's what I like about this space. No pressure to be like, I need to do this event. Like, I can kind of make up events, which is nice. Yeah, the hardest geezer's giving me that itch as well. I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff. He's hardest geezer, the first person to run the length of Africa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not the guy with the ginger beard.
Big beard, yeah.
Yeah. He's the one who is always posting, being like, day 300.
Yeah. So like he's
Wow.
seeing what he did with his team and stuff like that, and I watched some of his content before he's done, but that event he was like, I remember me and my girlfriend watching it, and I think he was barely getting any views at the start of the run. Like, I was like, everyone needs to know who this guy is.
Yeah.
And then he just like, he was posting consistently and then just blew up. He's got over 1 million followers. He's got all these brand deals and stuff like that. And just watching somebody go through that in a foreign country, terrible food, dangerous. Yeah, I just love that stuff. I love it.
So maybe you need to do it before you've got the well-oiled team. Just
Yeah.
get going.
Yeah.
The team will just come together
Yeah.
for you.
Well, actually, with the 34 marathons, like, it was very hard to get sponsors and stuff. Like you were saying earlier on, with so many people doing these events now, I think like it's become normal. So sponsors they're like, oh, this is nothing. We might go and sponsor this guy instead. So yeah.
I wonder what that landscape is like. Like, how many people are saying they're going to do something and then they don't actually end up finishing it or even getting partway through it.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the thing of what happened to old mate. He started running through America and then they're like, oh, he's getting quite a fair way through.
Yeah, he's going to finish it. Yeah. I mean, definitely media attention comes towards the end. I got some media attention, which was great towards the end. Everyone jumps on like, last minute. Okay, he's actually going to finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I found that brands won't talk to you unless you've got like a following. And I'm not somebody who wants to be like, oh, hey guys, buy this product and stuff on
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media. I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to post that much, but I understand that we need to do it. But yeah, some brands won't even talk to me if you don't have over 10,000 followers or 20,000 followers and stuff like that. So there's some work that I need to do there, building up the followers and the community, but doing it for the right reasons, like actually building a community that want to learn about how to get better with mental health or how to run, maybe not many marathons, but
At
yeah,
least,
who can actually like, you know, buy into the community and actually, yeah, build a legit community around me. So
yeah.
yeah.
You want it to be authentically you,
Yeah.
right? You don't
Yeah.
want to kind of sell yourself short, and especially in that social media space, it's like you'd much rather have a community that engages with you and are
Yeah.
following you for the right reasons, as
Yeah.
opposed to you just natural good looks and, you know, kind of hike your shorts up. And,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, if I was like a BPN athlete or a Gymshark athlete or something
yeah,
like that.
exactly. Then, yeah, maybe we should have done some of that for the
Mm.
footage, just kind of like cop the shorts a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
tighter.
yeah, yeah.
Could have got a few more
Yeah,
views, who
yeah.
knows? But it's interesting that you say about team, because I do think that's important.
Yeah.
And I think as you move forward, a big thing is who you surround yourself
Oh
with.
yeah,
Have you
yeah.
thought about that? And kind of, I know you mentioned BPN as well, and I think they're the kind of gold standard in terms of not only production, but who they're surrounded by. Because
Yeah.
you go and you see these events, and it's like, it must be amazing being surrounded by people who are pushing themselves hard and who
Yeah.
are doing these crazy things as
Yeah.
well. And I think that, to me, is what I love about BPN, and I think it's amazing, isn't just the content that they produce, which is kind of amazing standard, but
Yeah.
it's also the fact that it's a community of people who do push themselves further than, you know, anyone else. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just great to see that online.
Yeah.
Have you thought about how you're going to surround yourself with the right kind of people? And I know you said about building team and community. Are there any thoughts that you've had?
Team. So big points for me. Team environment is everything. So for me, environment is in like training with the right people, training in the best locations, getting the most information. Like it's environment is everything. If you train with somebody who's better than you, they'll level you up. Same with like the team around like the content and stuff like that as well. Like having creators involved who just want to like push themselves and level up, not only to like get my story out there, but just to show their skills off and get more work from it and stuff like that. That's a big thing for me. Just trying to make that solid team that everyone's just like really invested in just being as best as they can be. William Googe on his run across Australia, he said an amazing line when he got to the finish line. He was obviously talking about his mum that he'd lost, but he said about his team working at his level and above. So he's like, I want to surround myself with a team that operate at my level above, and everyone in his team was doing that. And I felt like, you know, with the 34 marathons, we were doing that as well. So it's a big thing for me. Like, yeah, team, environment. I only follow a certain amount of people on Strava as well. I don't know if you've seen it. I follow like 20 people on Strava, because all those 20 people on Strava are like people that are just like, I as soon as I open that app, I look at them, I'm like, fuck, these people are just absolutely insane. And that kind of like, even though I don't know them, I feel like I'm like leveling up just looking at what these people are doing, the training that they put in, and it inspires me as well. And going to like a running track in Sydney and just seeing people like flock themselves. I'm not a fast runner, but like running with people who are faster than me levels me up as well. And yes, environment is everything, surroundings, and just, yeah, having a solid team.
Do you think it's interesting that you said about how, like, seeing the inspiration or that kind of friendly
Yeah.
competition? Because some people would see that and they're looking at social media and constantly comparing themselves to others in not a good way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that either gives you the kind of, okay, I've seen this person who's running marathons, I need to level up my game. Or some people view that as like, oh, I'm never going to be them, so why start?
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think that's,
Yeah, I think you need to look at it like a wider picture and just be like, okay, you can take some things from them. You don't need to do it stream. I guess my biggest inspo is actually completely out of the running niche. It's Ross Edgley. Ross Edgley is
big.
I don't know what even to call this guy. He's just
an animal.
If you looked at Ross Edgley, he's like a bodybuilder, strong man. The guy's a giant, but he's able to just do like these crazy swims. He just finished swimming around Iceland. I first came across him when he swam around Great Britain.
Yeah. That's when
Completely
I saw
outside
him.
of my niche, but I just love how he is so invested into like sports science.
Yeah.
He just loves reading about like how the body works, what he can do, and he's like an experiment on himself. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to learn myself, like learn a little bit more about sports science, how the body works. I'm not a coach, but the amount of knowledge that I've got within the sports space, I probably could coach now. I just love like knowing all the like intricate details of just like nutrition and just
he's really taken that, and he kind of
he's
does
found
it
his
to
niche.
the nth degree.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to Loughborough, I think.
Yeah.
Uni. So yeah, but seeing him, and he'll take something and be like, okay, I'm gonna only do this. It's like the swimming around Great Britain's insane.
Yeah.
But it's like when he commits to something, he's like, oh, I'm going to do exactly this, and just does it. But I think he has that army background, which I guess links into, I don't know if it was army or what kind of side it was, but that links into like the discipline of, doesn't matter how he's feeling because he's just going to get it done anyway.
Yeah.
Like, did you see his swim through the river? It was like,
he's done. Yeah, and he had to get pulled out. He was
like
the longest continuous swim.
like 3 days, was it? Like 2 and a bit days non-stop.
Yeah, he got pulled out, which to get back in and go again and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's his mentality. And he's always, one thing I did take from him on one of his podcasts, actually, he always has time for his team, and no matter how he's feeling, he might have a worst day, he always polite to his team. And I took that from him, because the ride around Australia, my emotions were all over the place, and there was a bit of like clash with the team and stuff like that. And then I heard Ross Edgley's podcast on one of my runs, and I was like, wow, okay, this makes sense. So making sure that the team is respected of what they're doing, being polite. Another thing that he said as well is he doesn't necessarily try to get into the pain cave. Like, is in David Goggins, for instance, is like, I want to get to the pain cave. I want to just push as hard as I can. And it's like, Ross Edgley is more of a person where, okay, I'm in this pain cave. This is my time to like learn, and I'm just going to sit here and understand that this is only a short period of time, but I'm going to learn from this, because when I go into the pain cave again, I've got more knowledge. And he's not necessarily fighting it like a Goggins, where it's like Goggins is like, I want to just, and I like that as well, being like, okay, I'm going through this kind of dark place at the moment in the run. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can get through this and just be like content and
He's almost like a philosopher when he comes to it. He's just I'm in an incredible amount of pain. Well, let me study this.
Yeah.
What an absolute crazy man, but as you said, an inspiration.
Yeah, definitely.
You watch his videos and he's always the happiest man there, and he's the one pushing himself, and everyone's like, what is going on?
In the when he did the 40,000 calories, the shark videos, he just always, no matter, even if he's stuffing himself, he is just always the happiest man in the room.
One that stuck with me was around the Great British Swim. He would just eat a loaf of bread, cut it in half, and a jar of peanut butter on it.
Yeah. There was
over 1,000 calories in one.
There was one he did where it was super cold, and he was basically, they had boiling hot custard or something like that, and he was like swallowing that, and it was actually burning his throat as it was going down, but it was warming him up, and it was just chugging this away. So
it's not even just like what you said about going through the pain. For him, it wasn't even just like the swim as well. Like when you saw his I don't know if you've seen his, what's it called, wetsuit, like was cutting into the back of his neck, and you see these horrible like lacerations on his neck, and it's like he could have so easily gone, oh, I can't do it, like it's literally cutting in, and he was still going. And you
just
think,
Vaseline it up, Glad wrap, let's go.
I mean, crazy, the mindset. But I think that can be contagious, and I feel like you at the same level, I've seen what you've done, and it's inspired me. I'm like, oh, okay. Things are doable when you set their mind to, and it is always just how you approach them. And I think having that around and knowing that you've done it, I'm like, okay.
But you lose it.
Yeah.
I found that you lose it. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I finished the bike ride and then got into running, and I thought that I could go like straight. I was doing some like obviously decent distances. I did a couple of 8-kilometer runs and stuff like that, and I went to do a 24-hour run, and I completely failed. And I didn't respect that dog in you. You need to keep it. You need to keep testing yourself. So I finished that run. I finished the bike ride, and I didn't continue doing it straight away. Even if it was within 6 months, did a smaller challenge. I didn't really like push myself.
Yeah.
And you lose it. You get comfortable. You get just like, you just go back into a routine, and it's something like it's a muscle that you need to keep working on. So I'll try to do something within the next 6 months. It won't be the main event, but it will be something just to keep me like ticking over, just to be like, okay, I can still give myself a bit of a nudge. Because I lost it. I definitely lost it because I just went into a routine of just being like, okay, not really pushing myself that much. So
you don't know what it is yet in the next 5 months? The smaller challenge, the next one?
It's a hard one to answer because it's all dependent on how the blood clots come out. So yeah, I want to do multi-day run. Like, I've been thinking about, I could do something in the UK, run across the UK or something like that, or Germany, or go over to America and just do like a state and do something like that. So I've been thinking about ideas like that. But at this stage, nothing 100% locked in until I get my health back to normal. That's the main thing in a minute, which I should know over the next couple of weeks. So
excellent.
Look out on my Instagram.
Yeah. We will indeed stay tuned to find out what you're doing next.
Yes. Speaking of, do we want to plug that? Instagram?
Oh, Instagram? Yeah. Jermaine Jones _J. Yeah, it's a very new account. Any followers will help get me some more sponsors. But yeah, it's a very new account. Started it at the end of 2024. I guess the account is about style, because I like my fashion and stuff like that. Me just beasting myself with these stupid runs, but most importantly, just sharing my story and hopefully inspiring people to talk a little bit more about mental health. And my goal is to remove the stigma around it. I want people to be in a comfortable position to be able to like actually just open up within their circles and just talk about mental health or seek help for mental health, at least.
If you could say one thing of how you'd want to inspire someone who's maybe either going through something tough or is thinking about doing challenge like this, or what would you kind of say to them, the person who's kind of maybe in, as you say, in that kind of dark place? Is there anything you'd say that kind of...
Tough, like, but we'll break it into two ones. And so if you're going through the depression and you're in that dark place, it depends on where you are in your life, money and stuff like that. If you have the ability and you're able to travel and break away from everything, I massively recommend traveling. Just quit everything and go and travel. The amount of benefits I had from traveling around Asia and stuff, like it's life changing. If you don't have that ability and you need help, like there's people out there that are going through exactly the same as you're going through. Some people worse, some people better. There's forums, there's people on Instagram, there's helplines you can call, and there's people around that can listen. I know it's not easy to speak to friends all the time, or family. Family can be actually the hardest people to speak to. But there is the helplines. There's people out there that can give you like the put you on the right path, I guess, to succeed and I guess get out of that kind of dark place. In terms of people taking on challenges, don't do anything too soon. Like, don't break off more than you can chew. Just have respect for like ultras and stuff like that. You know, I say I'm a new runner. I have been running I was running maybe 18 months, 2 years before the actual run, on and off. I built up a bit of volume, but I wasn't at the stage where I could actually go and run the 34 marathons. I had to get a coach who knows more than me, more knowledge. And for the first, couple of months, we just strength trained. I didn't really run, just strength trained to build a base that I didn't actually have. So there's YouTube, there's blogs, there's all sorts of information out there to kind of build a base and work up to your goal, rather than going like, oh, I need to just go out and do this. And don't compare yourself to other people as well. Like I feel like my account, I don't have millions of followers, but it's been able to grow because I've been like true to myself. I'm not trying to be like anyone else. I don't care about anyone else. I'm not. There's some great people online. I can take inspiration from those people, but I am who I am, and I'm hoping that if I just stay true to myself, then like brands will connect eventually, and I'll get to the right place where we need to be, and yeah, just be my own person. So stay true to yourself. Don't compare to yourself to other people, and just enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. You have to.
Even if it's 34 marathons,
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Well, I did. I enjoyed it. Like I loved it, and I would do it again. Like I actually, yeah. As much as people will come up to me going, oh, like, you know, what you're doing is insane. Like, how are you doing this? Like I love it. It's a part of me. Like challenges. Like it doesn't always have to be something multi-day, but I enjoy pushing myself. I get the most out of each workout. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm going for an easy run or I'm in the gym training. Like, I get the most out of my workouts. I'm in there. I'm laser focused. Yeah. I actually give you an example. I train in a public gym, amazing gym. And I like to people watch while I'm in there. Like in between my sets, I like to people watch. So like I'm in there, I've got this training program, like, you know, I've got 30 seconds rest or a minute rest in between. So I do my sets, I have my rest, and I just like to just look at what people are doing. I'm no better than anyone, but one thing I will say is like I'm the most consistent person you'll meet. So if I'm in that gym, I'm fucking training. But I look at people sometimes and I'm like, you're paying for this membership. I literally watched a girl the other day scrolling through Uber Eats. Like, you're in the gym, just
Yeah.
You know, like I get it. Like it's a safe space for people and stuff like that, but like
not when you're about.
You're
sat there being like,
no, but like
shit.
but like, you know, it's there's so much benefits from like just getting the most out of a workout. There's so much like the endorphins and stuff, and it's
just being present in it for that time.
You know, there's so much stimulants. Just leave your phone, leave the social media, go in there and have your time, and then go back out, and you feel like a new person going out. You can jump back on your phone and stuff, but just
it will still be there.
It'll still be there.
If you see Jermaine finishing his set in the gym, you better be doing something.
If you see him,
make sure you're doing something.
That's probably put people off training with me now.
One thing that I completely forgot that I'm going to ask you, which is going to seem weird, but what did you have for breakfast?
What did I have for breakfast? Oh, the icon. I had sourdough and some eggs. Yeah, just getting some fats in. So not my usual.
Not your usual.
No,
usual
I've actually moved away from that because it's a bit too much sugar and stuff, and
you can't afford it now that you're not doing a marathon a day.
Yeah, so I had some.
How'd you have your eggs?
Scrambled.
You have them scrambled, always scrambled. Are you a Gordon Ramsay creme like scrambled, or you gotta cut them like into?
No, I can't. I can barely cook eggs. I'm just whisk them up and chuck them in the microwave.
You microwave them as well.
Yeah.
I'm such a believer in microwaving eggs. I'm sorry, I just think it's great.
Really?
I don't want to have to do it in no pan. Just jug, microwave.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever scrambled eggs in the frying pan.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What was your
exclusive?
What was your marathon breakfast then?
Marathon breakfast is the Sultana. Yeah, I was just pumping.
The Sultana brand.
Yeah, I was pumping that.
I didn't like how dry it looks though.
Yeah,
I can't lie. It was like
milk.
Minimal milk. I was like, oh, that's so rough.
Yeah, I mean, like the ultras and the multi-day stuff. It's an eating contest. I was really good at that eating contest, majority of it, but towards the end, my body was adapting and I wasn't feeling as hungry. And it didn't also help that I was running after work as well. I was getting the calories during the day, but because I was so conscious of like time and stuff at night, I wasn't really having longer breaks, which I should have been to get more calories. So, but that's one thing I still need to work on. I still need to get better at is the eating and just being able to just get as much calories in myself as possible. So yeah, a lot of my trial runs will be, you'll see me running around with a croissant or something out my mouth or a donut or something. So yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to eat more donuts.
Eat more donuts,
More donuts. Yeah. everyone says, you know, cut out your carbs, and it's like absolutely not.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
Not if you're doing that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm going through a little bit of a low carb thing at the minute, trying to do the ketosis thing. I'm listening to
Oh, yeah?
podcasts about benefits and stuff like that. And
It's
What
probably good for the recovery, right?
yeah.
what level do you take kind of the low carbs to? Because there's different. I feel like there's different levels of like true ketosis is like no fruit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like certain veggies that are high in sugars are cut out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think a nice level is just being like, oh, I'm just gonna avoid all like the extra processed sugar.
Yeah.
But
I listened to recent podcast, Diary of a CEO.
Diary CEO with Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, and he's talking about he was talking to a lady, I can't remember the doctor's name, but she's talking about like ketosis and stuff like that. And she actually goes down to like 25 grams or lower carbohydrate a day, which is like minimal. Sometimes she has
Yeah.
like 0 carbohydrates. So I want to do a little bit of research first before I like dive super into it. I've just cut back carbs from what I was taking through the run, just to give my body a bit of a chance to kind of recover. I do need to kind of work on the time of day I eat as well and fasting periods, but main thing is get the leg back to normal, get the blood clot sorted, and then I can kind of start testing with like things like that as well. So pulled back the carbs slightly, just to get kind of ripped for summer as well. And then, I'll dive into a bit more once I have like spend a few months researching and stuff. So
I've done full zero.
Oh, you have?
We've done full carnivore. So my partner's got like autoimmune stuff, and we just did full carnivore.
Did you see much benefits from it?
Yeah, more so her.
Yeah,
like I'm like for me, it was. You feel it once you go back on the carbs.
Gotcha.
Like once you eat a carb heavy meal, you're like, oh my God, I never realized before that I want to sleep now after eating.
Yeah.
Whereas we were eating just high fat meats. So it's just fat and protein.
Yeah.
But it worked a charm as well for shedding weight because it's hard to overeat when you're eating fatty meats and you stay very satiated.
Yeah, I had a test a few years ago where I found that my body burns more carbohydrates than actual fats, whereas Ben, who did the ride with around Australia, he burns more fats than carbohydrates. So our bodies operated different. So I need a lot of carbohydrates when training.
It takes a lot of time to adapt.
Yeah. So there is a process where you're able to hopefully switch your body over to have more fats, where you introduce fats slowly, where it's eggs or avocados or whatever it may be, and slowly kind of introduce that into your diet so you can transition to being the way you burn fuel is different. So that's what I need to do. I'm working on it now. Yeah.
Tough game though.
Bit of science around it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good research on it now.
Yeah.
So like,
Anthony Chafee, that's one of the names. Anthony Chafee, if you want to watch some of his stuff.
Yeah, check it out.
But we weren't trying to sort out a blood clot. So maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think like I'm hoping that if I want to be competitive in this space as well, if I want to race or anything like that, I'm hoping that like diving into the science can kind of separate myself from other people. Not share everything online and try and like research some stuff behind the scenes. And then like, once I do dive into it or I do another event and announce it, like people are going to be like, okay, this guy's a real deal. And then I can kind of share the lessons I've learned through. I don't want to necessarily go, oh guys, I'm doing this at the minute, and people buy into it and like, they think I'd rather do the research and really understand that this works for me, and then and if it pays off, then I can kind of share that type of stuff. So
Sure, once you got the results.
Try out some freaky rituals.
I
drink the blood of the lamb on a full moon
in the Brazilian jungle somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's like beautiful.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you wanted to add? You can think of it like you didn't cover.
No. It's pretty good. Like we don't need to dive into anything too much of the past. If you like, I think it's kind of a good flow.
I feel like we got covered all bases.
Did you want to plug any other channels? You got the Instagram.
Oh yeah, YouTube, Jermaine Jones. So I've set myself a bit of a goal to try and like dive into a little bit more of like filming behind the scenes and what I'm up to each week. Hopefully working with Jacob at some point as well, and like more of like the special events and stuff, and documenting some of the challenges what will come up in the future. I want to like really dive into some cool challenges with Jacob as well. But just trying to grow the YouTube channel. I feel I really like the long form and getting my story across. And it's also an avenue as well for like sponsors as well. They do like to see Instagram and now YouTube as well. So, and I watch YouTube all the time
Yeah.
rather than TV. So I want to experiment with that and give that a bit of a nudge. So yeah, Jermaine Jones.
I feel like that's where you get a lot more authentic listeners as well. It's all good having,
Yeah.
you know, hundreds of thousands on Instagram, but having people who would actually like, who would be willing to kind of turn up, like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Will Googe, and turn up on that final
Oh, yeah,
day,
yeah.
or even like your community to turn up on that. That's where it like really matters,
Yeah.
because it's, you know, it's no good having 50,000 people who don't really care about your story. You don't care
Yeah.
if you disappear, but
Yeah.
you know, 10,000 YouTubers doesn't seem like a lot,
Yeah.
but when you got that many subscribers, it's like they're kind of more invested in you.
Yeah.
I think that's where long form does give you that
Yeah.
avenue to kind of express that. That's what I found, and I do also like long form, because instead of having to give the most snappy hook to get someone in, I can kind of actually just leave up a really visually impressive like video, and I'm like, oh, I can hold someone's attention without worrying about like thousands of sounds and everything spinning around and color changes. I'm like, oh, I can just actually just tell a bit of a story. It's a bit more. I'm excited. It should be good.
Yeah, 2026, that's like one of the goals. And obviously community is a big one. That's getting around and building that community around Australia. So, and maybe the world.
Maybe the world. Let's get you out there. Get back to London.
Yeah.
Get over to America.
Jermaine Jones.
Give it.
It's been a pleasure.